we'll answer some questions now. What are the typical expenses for utilities, groceries, and transportation in Hawaii? So, Guy, you have any thoughts on this at this point?
Well, I can certainly give the Big Island perspective, the island of Hawaii, because grocery costs are kind of, I want to say, universal to the state. It's expensive for groceries. You need to be creative in terms of what you do, and how you spend, and looking for sales or whatever, which, I remember my parents cutting out coupons when we were kids out of the newspaper to save, a few bucks on their trip to the grocery store. So for that, for the groceries part of it, I don't know that you're going to see a huge difference between island to island, but transportation is something else. On the Big Island, we're very rural. I mean, our roads are exceptional. To get from the west side of the island to the east side of the island, or vice versa, has gotten so much easier. They've built better roads, but you really need a car here. You're not going to get by taking the bus like Scott can explain that you can on Oahu, and possibly even on Maui. There are some buses that move from east to west, basically transporting workers from the east side to the west side to work at the hotels, and then transporting them back to the other side. But if I was to tell you what the transportation here, the public transportation, it's Ubers and taxis. It's that simple. When you come here, if you don't rent a car, which a lot of people are doing less and less, and also they're renting a car for less, not their entire stay. Like if they're here for 7 days, they might rent a car for 2 or 3, and they're going to save on that expense. If you live here, you need a car. It's that simple. You have distances to travel and go. So there is a difference between this island and the other islands.
Yeah, for us, our transportation, we're dense and we're packed in. So Uber, taxi, that's easy. The bus system is great here on Oahu, so there's that component. From a utility standpoint, I'll add this in. So this is a part of that blog post. I break out everything from income to how much money you would need to buy the median priced home, to what taxes are, what property taxes are, what utility costs are. I break them down individually. We break down grocery costs. I actually go to the grocery stores. I take pictures, write down the info so we can put a grocery cost list so you can compare them. All these necessities, these things that you would have in your everyday life, we put this into this comprehensive guide. And so here we have this one component here. And so if you're on the median condo price, taxes and insurance roughly on average about $325 a month. Utilities run $525. I mean, I was living in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house by myself. My electric bill was $180 to $220 a month. My water bill was $100 to $120. That includes sewer. Sewer's 75% of what our water bill comes, because they come together. But $100 to $120 a month. And then my gas bill for natural gas, it was super cheap. It was like $12. It was awesome. Loved it. Yeah. And I love cooking with gas, right? And then your internet's, roughly $60 a month. Groceries, like you said, they get a little more expensive because, for one, we're importing stuff and it's perishable. So it costs to ship here, and then it expires quickly. So you got to be careful with that. The Big Island, I would say, actually is better in the sense that you guys have more access to farmers because you're more country component, whereas we have less access to that. Now, most of the shipping of goods comes through Oahu, then goes to the outer islands. So there's an extra layer of shipping for you guys on the outer islands. Like gas prices for cars, I've always noticed is more on the Big Island than it is here on Oahu. It's cheaper here for us.
Yeah. We also have a long way to go.
Yeah, you got further to travel. I don't travel that far. So yeah. I mean, we can drive. I can drive to the North Shore in an hour, right? Whereas if you're showing property on the east side, it's an hour. It could be an hour and a half just to to go that side, right?
Well, it's about an hour now from Waikoloa to Hilo.
That'll
Yeah, via Saddle Road or the expressway now. So that time has been trimmed. But to get in your car and drive 45 minutes to Kona, or get in your car and drive an hour to Hilo, or 45 minutes to North Kohala, or 30 minutes to Waimea, that's just the reality. Now, understand, those drives are pretty easy and they're beautiful. If you want to listen to a podcast or your favorite music or whatever, chat with friends, whatever, it's all relatively easy. You're not going 10 miles in 40 minutes, which I know sometimes happens on Oahu. So,
yep. So the main thing I would answer on this is, if you're in a luxury home, so I gave you the kind of condo, small house, affordable side. If you get into the luxury home, I mean, I've had clients with a gas bill of $300 a month because they got the tiki torches, they got the gas jacuzzi, and the heated pool, and then they're cooking. Right. 300 plus a month just for gas. And then you have tropical landscaping and highly landscaped, and you're at $200+ a month on water. And then your electric bills. I had a client that had a 5,000 square foot home, old AC, pool, jacuzzi. They had a piano, so the property, the house needed to be constant AC to climatize the piano, right? And their electric bill was $1,700 a month. And so they put in new compressors, and they got 70 PV panels. Oh, and they had 2 electric vehicles. So they got 70 PV panels with batteries, and then they had the EV chargers and whatnot. And they reduced that bill down to $100 to $200 a month through photovoltaic. So that's your offset. But those are the extreme luxury side, right?
And they could afford it. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, they probably paying the $1,700 wasn't, we can do that, but still,
nobody likes wasting money.
no, exactly. And when they saw, and it's not just affordability, also practicality, and going, let's, they're probably very happy to have that bill instead of $1,700 a month. So
yeah. So I mean, the premise here is go to my website, right? The research is here for you so you can understand the cost differences from where you are to where it is here. I actually even looked up what's the kilowatt per hour on Big Island versus Oahu. It's 46 cents, 46.5 cents per kilowatt hour on the Big Island, and 43 cents on Oahu. Now, those are some of the highest in the state by far, or in the country by far. But even Big Island is slightly more than Oahu, right? And then your offsets would be PV and whatnot. But that gives you a general breakdown. Go to my website. It's all there for you. And the idea is to make you more informed so you can make an informed decision, right?